Break two pieces of news. We talked about these things on the Fantasy Football Show live today, which airs every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, and we touched on both of these topics, but they're so big that I wanted to bring them up in a separate video. I wanted to go live real quick and break down both of these situations. Dalvin Cook, a victim of domestic abuse and extortion. There's a pending litigation according to his agent, Zach Hiller, according to Adam Schefter on Twitter. I just wanted to hit this real quick and let everybody know what's going on from what we know, from what we can gather from the situation early on. A lot of people jumped to some conclusions and thought, oh, Dalvin Cook did something. No, if you read the report correctly, it says the Vikings running back Dalvin Cook is a victim of domestic abuse and extortion. So what we can gather, we can only speculate. Nobody knows what's fully going on right now. Let me preface that, even myself. But from what I gather, as everybody keeps talking about this and talking about it in like negative context, like, oh, like this is bad for him to be involved in the other side of a domestic abuse situation. Look, there could be all kinds of domestic abuse, and you could say things like, you know what, maybe this guy avoided a bad situation by going the route that he's taking. This is a good thing in a way that a player is actually in the spotlight for taking the right approach to a domestic abuse type situation. I commend Dalvin Cook for taking the path that we believe he's taken, which is a legal path, not a physical path. So I want to hear I don't want to hear any people talking bad about Dalvin Cook as if, oh, there's some weird comments out there like weak, or how does he handle it like this? Dalvin Cook is a part of an investigation that no one knows what's going on. The details of it is obviously financially, potentially driven as well. We don't know. He could have a hand in it. He could not have a hand in what escalated to this situation. Nobody knows. So stop speculating until we have further information. But what we know right now, from what we gathered, Dalvin Cook is a part of he's a potential victim in a domestic abuse situation that might involve extortion. And as far as we know, there's nothing that's going to come to this for week 10 that we know of. Now, we'll update you if more information arises. If there's some reason he can't participate in week 10, I'll let you know. I don't anticipate that being the case. My guess is that his agent and attorney decided to get out in front of this thing before people started spinning their own story in regards to what's going on. So as it stands right now, the little information that we have, Dalvin Cook should be fine for week 10 on. I know everybody's worried about their own selfish fantasy reasons. And, I don't blame you. I'm worried about my selfish fantasy situation as well. And that's why I'm here. That's what I'm put on this earth to do, is to update you with fantasy football content. This is my job. So here I am telling you, I don't think you need to be worried about your week 10 Dalvin Cook shares. He should be fine. Prayers up for everybody involved in this situation, and we hope that things work out and get ironed out smoothly. On another note, Nick Chubb is likely out week number 10, lands on the COVID list. He will be, you'll have to see if he can test negative enough times, 2 times before the contest kicks off. But as of right now, D'Ernest Johnson is looking slated to start week number 10. He would be a high-end running back 2, borderline running back 1. We know what D'Ernest Johnson did the last time he was forced out there to be the starter for his team. He looked fantastic. He looked phenomenal. Even LeBron James was tweeting out and reaching out to D'Ernest Johnson. If LeBron James is reaching out to you, you know you need to be in fantasy football lineups. That's how good you're doing. This man needs to be added, D'Ernest Johnson. If for any reason he's on waivers, he got cut in a lot of leagues last week. People have this tenacity, this instinct to drop really good backup players the moment they go back to the bench, as if they no longer have value. Like in the case of Alexander Madison, people cut him because he already had his time to shine, right? Wrong. Just because you leave the lineup, go back to the bench when you're a super handcuff like Madison or Pollard or Dillon, doesn't mean you don't have value. Doesn't mean you don't have value still just because you went back to the bench. Dalvin Cook could get hurt. He's very injury prone. Okay? He's one of my favorite players to own going forward for weeks 10 on, because if you cuff him to Madison, he could be the number 1 overall player going forward, because Madison could be a top 5 to 10 running back per start. Madison is a dormant super handcuff. He's not like Pollard, where he's a super handcuff, but digging into some of the work. Or like A.J. Dillon, who's a super handcuff, a win-a-league type handcuff, a win-a-league standalone player if he gets in the lineup, but he's not dormant. Madison's dormant. Owning Dalvin Cook and Madison is potentially the number one option go forward in fantasy football week 10 on. And this doesn't change it for me. I'm not really worried about anything I'm reading in regards to Dalvin Cook being in trouble to miss time. Everything we're seeing so far, he's the victim, and he's trying to get out in front of this. From everything that I'm gathering, again, we don't have all the information. Sometimes it takes two in a situation like this. I'm not trying to claim that he has no fault or no place in this situation turning negative or something. We don't truly know, but everything so far is coming from a place that sounds like he has been the victim. He's trying to get out in front of it. And as for Nick Chubb, we'll know more in the week if he, for some reason, can get right and ready for week number 10. I don't know that that's possible at this point. We will see. As of right now, expect Ernest Johnson to start week 10, and he should be grabbed if he's available in any leagues. That's all I came on here to talk about. I wanted to go live to address both of these situations in a shorter live stream, so it was all self-contained in the content, and you didn't have to hunt around for the Nick Chubb news that was buried deep into the 3-hour live stream that we did, or the close to 3-hour live stream we did. I didn't want you to dig deep into the Dalvin, to find this Dalvin Cook news at the very end, although it was very entertaining because we combed over Twitter, the Twitterverse, looking at all the ridiculous comments, the early, comments and retweets. We've read them all. People are out of their mind, but that's a good little segment if you want to go watch the tail end of the Tuesday show. But anyway, buckle up. Week 10. Ask your questions in the comments below. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you. You are the show. You guys are the fantasy football show. I'm going to go eat dinner, and I appreciate every one of you. Good luck. Ask away in the comments. I hear you. Boom.